I'm not perfect. I don't think anybody is. I mean, we all have problems, we all have issues, and I have many flaws, many problems, many issues for that matter. I'm far from perfect. I don't really like to admit that because I try to be in everything and every aspect that you can be. I try to be, well, as perfect as possible, but perfection is impossible. Nobody's perfect. Nobody can be perfect. You can try very hard, but it's just not gonna happen. It's not a thing. Perfection is impossible, like I said. But that's not gonna stop me from trying. I've always tried to be the best I can be at whatever I do or wherever I am. The best son, the best friend, just the best in general at anything and everything. At work, especially at work, I try very hard to. I suck at swimming. Okay, here we go. I try very hard to be just the best I can be. I try to do everything I can. I don't complain about it until I'm at home. I don't throw a fit about unjust and unfair work amounts and things like that. I just do it. I do as I'm told. I keep my head down and I keep pushing through. But it gets kind of exhausting, I guess, trying to be perfect, and nobody tells me that I have to be. Nobody is forcing me to be. It's never been, I mean, it's just not a thing. Nobody is telling you or me or anybody that they have to be perfect. You just be you and it should be good enough. But being me has never felt good enough. So I've always felt like I have to be a better version of me or I have to be the best version of me. And it's just not possible all the time. You can't always be the best version of you, and that's okay. At least it should be okay. That dude, these red-eyed creepers are so scary. Okay, we're not doing this today. I just came for dirt. But a lot of the times it feels like it's not okay. It feels like it's not okay to be not perfect or not the best version of yourself or just the best in general. It feels like there's some sort of responsibility to somebody somewhere that you have to be just the best of the best and do everything perfectly and just do it all. But you can't. You really, really can't. You can't do everything. You can't do it all. Tried. Good lord. Okay. I've tried for a long time, as I said, to be perfect, to be the best I can be, the best at whatever I'm doing, and it only leads to failure. Like I said, you can't be perfect. You can't do everything. You can't always be the best version of you. And like I said before, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Definitely feels like there is sometimes. Feels like if you can't be the best version of you, then you're not really worth anything. And maybe that's just a me problem, my own low self worth, my own self esteem issues and self conscious issues, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's not just me. Maybe others feel the same way that I do, that it feels like if you're not doing everything and you're not doing it the best you can, you're not doing anything worthwhile. I don't know. Maybe it's just how it feels at work and it's just a feeling that's been reinforced by criticisms of not doing enough or feeling like you're not doing enough. And I don't know. I'm really my own biggest self critic. So the only person that ever tells me I'm not doing enough or I'm not doing good enough is me. Like, I don't, I don't get complaints at work or anything that I'm not doing my job well enough or anything of the sort. But at the same time, I don't really get praise for the work that I do either. So it tends to make me feel like if I'm not being praised for it, I'm not doing enough or I'm not doing it good enough. And maybe that's a whole separate issue in general. Maybe that's just a whole lack of appreciation problem that I crave attention and I crave positive reinforcements, or reassurance, I think is the word that I'm looking for. So maybe that's a whole different issue, but I'm not sure. I just get kind of tired of beating myself up and telling myself I'm not doing enough or I'm not doing good enough or whatever the case is, because it happens all too often in all too many aspects of my life. Something will happen, some situation, like just work in general. It's been a really busy week for me at work. Been lots of stuff to do, and I tend to be the one who feels like I'm doing it all. I feel like I have to take the initiative and do everything. And that's not even just at work, that's kind of just in life in general. I always feel like I have to take the initiative, which is true. You do have to take initiative in your own life, but I feel like I've been taking it in the wrong places and taking on so much responsibility all at the same time in all kinds of different aspects. And it leads me to just failing at them because I'm trying to do too much at once. I'm trying to do everything and end up doing nothing. I'm not sure. I just am trying to do better at the things that I do, you know, like making these videos. I try to make the best videos I can. I try to make them as much as possible because I like to make them, but also because it just is taking initiative in my life in some aspect. But I will have a bad day where I'll wake up and I won't be in the mood to record or I won't be in the mood to do anything, and then I'll beat myself down for it and feel like I'm letting people down, or more so just letting myself down because I didn't do anything that I wanted to do. I didn't do anything in general. I had a bad day. I didn't get out of bed, whatever. And I will just feel worse about it because I'll just talk myself down and I will just beat myself up about it and be like, how are you supposed to do anything if you can't even get out of bed? How are you supposed to be better or do better or improve your life in any aspect if you can't even do something simple? Just constantly beating up on myself. I shouldn't say constantly, it's really not, but a lot of the time I spend a lot of time just kind of beating up on myself about things, simple things. But at the end of the day, I've been trying to remind myself that I am only human. I can only do so much. I can only do what my brain and my mind will allow. Those are the same thing, but point being, I can only do what I can do. I can't, if I can't do something, if I don't have the energy or the motivation, that is a horrible noise, dude. That scared me so bad. If I can't do something because I don't have the mindset for it or the motivation for it, then that's just how it is. There's nothing I can do or say to just turn that off. It's just how it is, you know? Like I keep repeating because I can't focus while I'm trying to put this dirt down. And like I said, I guess I just have a problem with that, with myself being that way, that I feel just bad about it. I feel like I'm gonna be letting somebody down in any aspect, really. If I just feel like a letdown, I feel like a failure, I feel like a disappointment. But I'm trying to do a better job at just appreciating myself and appreciating the things that I do when I do have the energy and the motivation for it, because it's taken me a long time to get to the point that I'm at in my life. It's been a long road with lots of ups and downs, and it's just a good thing that I'm here in general, to be honest, you know? Just alive, thriving as best as I can. Surviving is a better word for it, but it's a good thing. And I need to appreciate the fact that it is a thing. I need to appreciate the fact that I even made it this far, because not everything is perfect. Life is never going to go the way you want it to, or at least I shouldn't say never, but a lot of the time, life is not going to go the way you want it to, or expect it to, or think it's going to. And you can't dwell on that. You can't beat yourself up and say, I could have done better, or I could have done this, and things would have been different, or whatever. Just appreciate the fact that you're here. Appreciate the fact that you made it this far, and you even did anything in general, or even if you did a whole lot of nothing, like I did a whole lot of nothing for a very long time, and yet somehow I'm still here. Somehow I'm still just here, existing, alive, not thriving, like I said, but surviving in general. I made it this far. I'm sure I'll make it quite a bit farther as life goes on. And that's good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. Life is never gonna be perfect. There will always be problems. There will always be issues. Maybe I won't always hate myself about them, but they'll always be there. There will always be challenges and struggles and ups and downs. It's unavoidable. And I mean, that's just life. We're all just human. We're all just trying our very best to be the best we can be. At least I think. I know I am. That's all I do is try my best to be the best. Just kind of how this video started, or kind of what the idea behind this video was, is that I always try to be perfect, and that's just not possible. So I've been trying to stop that lately, and not to say like I'm trying to be lazy or I'm trying to be worthless. I already feel pretty worthless a lot of the time, but I'm just trying to do a better job at realizing, like, at the end of the day, I am only a human. I can only do so much. I can only do what I can do. I can try and try and try to do better, but it's not always going to be the case. It's not always going to happen. It's not always possible. It's usually never possible. I mean, like I said before, perfection as a whole is impossible. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's gonna be perfect. Some people might seem perfect. They might seem like they have all of it figured out. Everything is good. Everything is great. But most times, in my experiences, it's just an act. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is always as good as it seems. I mean, yeah, that sucks for sure. But I guess the sooner you accept that, the better off you are. The sooner you can accept that. That's a creeper, I think. The sooner you can accept that nobody is perfect and nothing is perfect and life will never go the way you want it to, or won't always go how you want it to or how you expect it to, I guess it makes it a little easier. I'm still trying to come to that acceptance because I still try very hard to be the best of the best at everything and anything. And I'm well aware that I'm not. I am well aware of my flaws and my issues, and I'll be the first person to admit that. I'll be the first person to admit that I got problems and I got issues and I got flaws and I'm far from perfect, but it's not gonna stop me from trying to be. I don't know. I don't really want to. I can't really help it, but it is tiring. I'm tired of trying to be the best of the best of the best all the time. And again, maybe that leads back to a lack of recognition and a lack of reassurance and praise, I guess, that I don't feel rewarded for the work that I put in, or I don't feel justified in trying so hard to be so good at things. Again, this is mostly related to work. I try very hard to be the best coworker. I not to talk myself up here or anything, but I kind of am, like, one of, if not the hardest worker on my night crew, and I don't get any recognition for it whatsoever, or at least not enough, not often enough. I am looked down upon just as much as everybody else because we are all equals, even when we're not. And not to say like I'm better than anybody else, but I just mean like the workload that I do every night is way more than majority of my coworkers. The amount of stuff that I have to do during one shift, even in the first like hour of my shift, is like double what some of my coworkers do in their whole 8 hours. And like I don't know. I don't like to sound like full of myself. I don't like to be complimented, or at least for a long time I didn't. I'm not good at like I'm just not good at handling uh appreciation because I don't feel deserving of it. But in some cases and in some aspects, I do feel deserving of it, and then I don't get any, and it makes me feel just bad. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough, and I need to do better. And it's like I'm already doing everything that I possibly can. I'm already trying the hardest that I possibly could. What more can I do? But at the end of the day, I'm only human. I can't do any more. I can't do any less. I can only do what I can do, and I will do it to the best of my abilities in every day that I am able. But some days I'm not gonna be able to. Some days I'm just not gonna have it in me. I'm not gonna be able to put in 110% effort in every way, in every place, in every part of my life. And that's okay, or at least it should be. It's come to feel a lot of the time like it's not. Like it's just, if you're not doing it all, you're not doing enough. And that's not true. It's not true whatsoever. Doing what you can is good enough. That's all you need to do, is the best that you can do. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody is. Nobody ever will be. But we can all just be good enough, and that should be good enough, I think, at least, because I'm tired of striving for perfection. I'm tired of trying my damnedest to be everything in every good way, every possible. I don't know, I'm losing my words here because I'm putting dirt down again, and dirt distracts me apparently. But I don't know. I'm only a human. I can't do any more. I can't do any less. I can only do, like I said, I can only do what my brain will allow me to. And I will keep trying my best to do the best that I can. But that's not always going to be enough. It's not always going to be, I guess, the right thing. Sometimes it won't feel like I'm doing anything, and I will have to just accept that. I'll have to accept that not every day I can do everything. I'm really just repeating myself a lot here, I feel like, but I'm just trying to give myself a break, if you will. Trying to cut myself a little slack, tell myself it's okay to not work so hard and not be so just overwhelmed, because I do it to myself. I take on all these responsibilities, I take on all this stuff. I don't ask for help. I just keep doing and keep going and pretend that it's okay and that I can handle it all, even though most times I can't. And I won't ever show that. And I won't ever tell anybody that. I think I get it from my mom, where I just feel like I have to do it all and I have to do it perfectly. But it's just not realistic by any means. Not at all. But I'll keep trying. I will keep striving for perfection every day. As much as I'm sitting here talking about it, I mean, I guess there's no harm in trying, right? But I am trying to just not be so hard on myself when I can't, because it's like I keep saying, it's not possible. Can't do it. You can't be perfect, at least not every day. There will be bad days. There will be hard times. There will be issues. And it's really just about learning to deal with them in a healthy way and being okay with not being okay. As cliche as that is, it's true. You gotta learn to not, you gotta learn to be okay with not being okay. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all stuck on this spinning rock somewhere in space, all just doing what we can as best as we can, and that's okay. That's good enough. I'm proud of you for trying. I'm proud of myself for trying. I'm proud of myself every day that I get up and do anything with my time and with my day. But sometimes it's just not enough. Sometimes it just doesn't feel good enough. And, well, you know what? It is good enough. It will have to be good enough because I can't do anymore. So, it's just gonna have to be. That's just how it is. It's just how it has to be, or how it's gonna be. There's nothing I can do or say to change that. If I can't do it, I can't do it. If I'm not feeling it, feeling up to it, feeling strong enough for it, then that's just how it is. And some days, that's how it's gonna be. Some days I'm not gonna be strong enough to get up and get out of bed. Some days I will sit and wallow and rot in my room and feel empty and alone and sad and beat myself up about it. But hopefully, the goal is to not beat myself up about it. The goal is to just accept it and be okay with the fact that things are not always okay. Nobody's perfect. We're all human. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Point being, well, that is my point, actually. So, scratch that. Point made instead. Just want to fill this. Yeah, this is going to need some help. I had this idea, and it is coming to fruition, but not very prettily. Prettily? Is that a word? Okay, I gotta go. I gotta stop. I'm getting too distracted playing with water buckets right now. Trying to make this pond thing here because I thought it would look pretty and look cool, and I should have known how difficult this would turn out to be. Definitely should have expected this. That's okay though. This is perfectly related to the point of my video. Just like this pond that I'm trying to create, nobody is perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nothing will be. Nothing. No. What was I gonna? Not everything can always turn out perfectly. Not everything is gonna even turn out good. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort. Sometimes there's no fixing it. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be good. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to be good. I mean, you should be a good person, but like, you don't have to be good at anything. I'm not very good at many things, but that's okay. I'm good enough. I am good enough just the way I am, and so are all of you. And I hope you know that. I hope you can remember that. Because for the 100th time, we're all just human. It's all we are. It's all we can be. As much as there's times I wish I wasn't. I very much wish I could be a cat or a panda bear or a fucking parrot flying around with no cares in the world other than what I'm gonna eat. That's not how it is. I was born a human. I am stuck a human. I will forever be a human. And that's okay. That's good enough. I am good enough. We are all good enough. That's all we can be. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. If you like my rambling about all kinds of nonsense, I have plenty more videos for you to watch if you care to. Either way, I'm gonna go. I'll be back at some point. So, I'll see you when I see you. Have a great day, weekend, anything, everything, whatever time it is, whatever day it is. I hope it's wonderful. Thank you.